Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. I know, yeah, we're going to start off shortly. I want to welcome everybody to this call. We're going to start off shortly, but we'll just give room for 5 minutes. Let's allow others to join the call. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, so we're just giving a grace of let's just say approximately 5 minutes for us to allow others to be able to join the call. Okay, just 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome everyone. I know we're having people joining the call. So just we're just waiting for some few minutes for us to kickstart the webinar while we give room for others to be able to join. If you're not comfortable sharing your video, you can just put it. Then I want everybody to please still turn off their mic, right? So please mute your mic. Thank you. Ibrahim, please can you mute your mic? Okay, so yeah, thank you all for joining the today's webinar, right? You're welcome to Tech Academic Solution. I'm not going to waste much of your time for today's webinar. We're just going to do it very briefly and try our best to at least finish the webinar in less than 1 hour, right? So I want to welcome you all. This is Tech Academic Solution, and this webinar is among one of our numerous series we normally do sometimes every month, but sometimes quarterly, right? This is one of our series we normally do to be. This is one of our series we normally do to be able to educate individuals or also guide individuals that wants to strive into becoming learn skills in tech, right? And we'll be doing this for a while, and we have been able to meet up, or we have been able to affect so many lives when it comes to this particular webinar. And also allowing people to grow their career from the very beginning to where they deem it fit, they are comfortable to actually land a job, right? So you're welcome to Tech Academic Solution. My name is Ubeba Besiri, and I'm your host for today. If you have any question to ask or during the course of the webinar, during the course of our discussion, you have any questions to ask, please, the chat room is open. Drop your message on the chat room, right? Drop your message on the chat, that's the chat box. Drop your message on the chat box. And there is, we have people on the team that is going to definitely reply to your messages, right? So in our webinar today, we have our guest speaker is we have our guest speaker on board. He's his name is Theophilus, right? Theophilus Sawyer. He has numerous years of experience when it comes to tech. He's a cloud engineer. He has worked in tech expert. He has worked in some offshore companies that he has been able to deploy projects that surrounds cloud engineering, and we deem it fit to invite him to our webinar today to come and discuss with us how you can transit, right? How you can transit and how to unlock your career opportunities when it comes to CompTIA A+. What is the benefit of learning CompTIA A+? If you learn CompTIA A+ today, what are you going to gain on the long run, right? And when this webinar is going on, we'll pause for some time, and we're going to do send a gift out, something like a gift for everybody that have attended this webinar. So please stay in touch. You don't know when we're going to post this, but just stay in touch. Stay on the call. It's just going to last. The free gift is going to last for like 2 hours, probably just 2 hours, right? 2 hours. It's going to last for like 2 hours. So stay on the call, be in the chat, watch out for your chat box, stay on the call, and we'll get back to that when it's time for the prizes, or the disc, or when it's time for the prizes to give out prizes to whoever want to participate on it, right? So like what I was saying, our webinar today is we centered around educating us, right? Educating individuals on how to start a career in tech. What is that first step? Where will you start from, right? Where will you start from? And if you're starting from the barest minimum, what are the key things you need to learn, right? To be able to excel when it comes to be able to excel in different areas in tech, be it cloud computing, cybersecurity, software engineering, programmers, or etc., or AI engineer. Where do you have to start from, right? Because you cannot just wake up in the morning, right, without having a background in tech and just choose to you want to become a software engineer, or you want to become a cybersecurity expert, or you want to become a DevOps engineer, right? So it takes time, and it takes time, right? And it also takes resources to learn these things, right? So that's what we've come here to discuss with you. We've come here to educate you, and we want to hold your hand to be able to train you in this part. So I'll just give a nutshell about Tech Academy Solution before I pass the mic to the presenter, right? So Tech Academic Solution is a training institute that empowers individual with tech skills, right? When I mean tech empowerment, when I mean tech skills in the sense that you learn CompTIA cybersecurity, software engineering, DevOps, and cloud computing, right? So these are the 5 major focus we are actually training individuals on. And why we started this series of webinars is because during our course of business, we have been able to understand that people don't know where to start from when it comes to tech. They don't know where to start from. Maybe they follow the tides, or they follow their friends, right? Or they follow where they can have quick money, right? So we try our best to be able to create these webinars to educate them, or educate individuals for them to take up these tech skills, right? These tech skills and have a tangible and have a soft landing. When I mean soft landing, and have the fundamentals, the foundation right, before moving ahead into different section of tech careers, right? So you don't just wake up in the morning and tell yourself you want to become a software engineer when you have no background in tech. So that means you're going to struggle, you're going to struggle, you're going to struggle, you're going to find it difficult, or definitely at the end of the day, you might drop out from actually attending, or you might drop out from actually moving on with the skills you want to learn, right? So that's why we are here, to be able to educate you and um, make you one of the key uh, make you one of the key personnel when it comes to one of the key skills, to make you have one of the key skills when it comes to tech, right? So without speaking much, I don't want to take much of it. Like what I said, we'll be trying our best to manage the time within 1 hour. Please, if you are on the call, you have any questions or you need any clarification, please drop your message on the group, on the chat, right? Drop your message, and there's somebody on the background that will definitely attend to you. So, without wasting much time, I want to introduce uh, Theophilus, Theophilus to the call. Theophilus, please signify. Hello, Sawyer.
Everybody.
Yeah, hi.
Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from today. And thank you, Siri, for the introduction and making them comfortable and giving them an insight of what we'll probably be talking about today. And for those of us that will be joining us on training itself, it promises to be really insightful and you're going to learn a lot. So I think Siri already introduced me and everything he has said is correct. Yeah, but I think we'll get to know ourselves as we proceed. So permit me to just bring up my screen so we don't waste any more time. And yeah, like um, so oops, sharing. Um, okay, sorry, I lost the screen. Okay, so yeah. So the topic for or the headline says unblock career opportunities with CompTIA A plus certifications, right? So basically, this talks about your first steps into IT and the things to know. And like Siri said, you cannot just jump steps and go maybe to start being a software developer or a cloud engineer. So let me liken it to um, as a child or as a baby, we didn't just start to walk, right? Crawled first, then we started using the walker, started walking, started running. So CompTIA A plus is the foundation for every, I would say every aspect of IT, of tech now, as the case may be. And I used to tell people that this is the best place or the best course to take before venturing into IT. So, so today, as I think Siri already did the welcoming, I also welcome you guys once again. And we will talk about CompTIA A plus certification because at the end of the day, we always advise our students to go for certifications. But first, you need to learn about the course first before you end up going for certifications, right? So we'll talk about that. We'll look into the skills you're going to gain And when you gain those skills, what opportunities are there for you in the job market, right? For you to try your hands on, right? And so, um, talking about CompTIA A plus, it's actually I would say an acronym now, if I'm not wrong, and uh, it's the entry level into IT certification. So what CompTIA means is it's a full word. It means Computing Technology Industry Association. Yeah, and that's for CompTIA. Then the A plus um, stands for uh, I'll say excellence. That's how I always explain it. So let's liken the A plus to when you're maybe in secondary school or university, you write a course and you are being given a grade based on your performance, right? And either you have an A or a B or a C, right? So this tells us that this particular industry association are excellent in delivering IT services, right? And so there are lots of certifications that they uh, issue out and certify, but CompTIA A plus is the first and it is the basic, right? And so we also have the CompTIA network, we have CompTIA security, we have CompTIA cloud. I think we have other advanced CompTIA courses, but CompTIA A plus is the basic. So we are taking that first on here, right? And so you need to start off from the CompTIA A plus because it touches a whole lot of um, part of IT. So you can now decide, okay, when you're done with CompTIA A plus, which of which of the sections you want to specialize into, right? So do you want to go into the cloud aspect? Do you want to go into the networking aspect or the security aspect, right? So that's what this page just talks about. Yeah. So this next slide that you see on my screen here tells us about the skills we are going to learn when you join us for the CompTIA A plus training, right? So the first one talks about the hardware fundamentals. As it rightly states there, it says understanding and handling hardware components, right? So we will touch on hardware components of computer, right? We talk about your desktop, your laptops, your peripheral devices like external monitors. We'll talk about your motherboard, your RAMs, your hard disks, all of that. Every hardware uh, material as it pertains to tech we dealt with. Uh, we'll also talk on operating systems, right? How to install operating systems, right? How to troubleshoot it as well. Because at times when you are installing an operating system, you might have an error. So we'll teach you guys how to fix those errors, right? We'll show you guys the different types of operating systems because I know most of us on here are mostly aware of the Windows PC, which is what most of us have. Then a couple of others have the Mac PC, which is owned by Apple. Then I'm sure only a handful are aware or have seen the Linux operating system, which I'll be showing you guys. I think if time permits us, I'll show us on the call today. Then we'll look at the mobile operating systems. That's the one we make use on our phones, right? Then after operating systems, we'll touch on software troubleshooting and support, right? So basically, as a tech person, most of your most of your job responsibilities will be trying to fix issues for people, right? So it can be internal customers or external customers, as the case may be, right? So you need to know how to troubleshoot software problems and how to also provide support, right? While at it. After that, we'll touch on networking essentials, right? So we are all on this call now. It is being made possible because of network, right? And so we are connected because we have maybe a mobile device or a laptop, and we have internet and we can connect, right? And so we have Wi-Fi and whatnot. We'll touch on this, right, extensively as well. right? Then after that, we'll look into IT security fundamentals. In IT or in tech, as the case may be, security is not compromised, right? You have to be very, very security conscious, and that is because the bad guys, so to say now, are not relenting, right? So they use every opportunity to try and steal your Facebook account, your Instagram account, to hack you, to empty your bank account and whatnot, right? So you need to be very, very conscious when it comes to security, right? So we'll see how to identify risks, how to identify threats, and how to mitigate these vulnerabilities, right? So after that, we'll touch on mobile devices management, right? And so for mobile device management, you will get to understand the role of mobile devices in the IT ecosystem. So I'll explain what that means, right? Now, some of us, when we get a job, uh, the company gives you a laptop, right? And they also give you a phone, as the case may be, right? And so that laptop and the phone is being managed, right? And monitored by the IT department, right? So what that means is at any point you report that those items are stolen, they can remotely wipe out those files on them that belongs to the office, right? So that those um, files don't get to fall into the wrong hands or into competitors, right? So we'll touch on mobile devices. I'll show us the tools. So Microsoft has a tool. We call it what was it called again? Endpoints. It's an endpoint tool. I'll record the name before the meeting ends. So with that tool, you are able to remotely wipe out devices that you've enrolled on it, right? So after that, we'll touch on virtualization and cloud computing, right? And so you will understand the concept of clouds and virtualization. So basically, in this section, we will show you guys how to have a different environment from your PC, right? So if you need to try out some hands-on uh, demos and you are scared that just maybe whatever you want to do might break or might spoil something on your physical laptop or your personal laptop now, you can now have a virtual environment where you can, right, do those hands-on, right? So on this call, if time permits me as well, I'll also show us I also show us a virtualized environment on Windows PC, right? And I'm almost sure most of us on the call are making use of a Windows device, so it will be easy for us to follow through, right? And so after that, we'll be looking at professional development and communication, right? And so the reason behind this particular um, course is or module, so to say, is that most of us are, or most tech guys are just technical. We don't have um, soft skills, so to say, right? And so what that means is you're an IT guy or you're an IT lady, you work in IT department, and a ticket comes to your desk. You want to just fix it, right, and get it done with. Or somebody calls you and say, "Oh, I'm having this issue." You want to just fix the issue and just get it done with. But you need to be able to speak because at times you get some call with an irate customer, a customer that has been frustrated by previous engineers, right? And so you need to be able to manage the situation properly, show empathy, very important, and let them know that you um, you can relate with whatever frustration they have come with, right? So don't just dismiss their frustration. All of this matters because some of you at the end of the day will end up working in an IT firm that's have external customers, and that when you are done fixing their issue, they get a survey, right? A survey in their like a survey request to fill, right? So that survey basically wants the customer to just air their mind, say, okay, how was support? How was the engineer, right? Did he fix my issue? Was he rude and whatnot? Like there was a company we worked with, I and Siri. It's a Microsoft company. So basically, when you close the ticket, when you use it, right, a survey goes to the customer automatically, so to say, right? And so you get judged or you get accessed based on the rating that the customer gives and the comments, right? So you have 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. So you should always pray for your customer to give you a 5 star because 5 star is excellent, right? And so if they give you a 5 star and a good comment, of course you have done well because at the end of the day, the QA guys are going to jump on that call or on that ticket and review all what you've done and sure that you're not found wanting. And if you are found wanting, they have a way they go about the whole thing, right? But you don't want to be in that situation, right? And so that's how but in this professional development section, right? So all of these I just quickly ran through just so I can be in time are the things we're going to be looking through while we start the course properly. And so at the end of the course, we always advise because it's always best to try your hands, right? How else will you know if you have learned something properly if you don't maybe do an exam or a test or something? So we always advise as a way of wrapping up the whole thing, just register for the CompTIA A plus certification. Can give you guidelines, we can give you how to go about it, how to read types of questions that usually comes out, right? And so with that guideline and with what we've taught you guys, you should be able to ace the exam, right? And so that's what we'll be doing on the course. So a quick overview was what I gave. And so before I move to the next section, okay, I'll just wrap up, right? Then I'll take us back to, I would like to show you guys here on the call how a Linux operating system looks like, right? And that's one. So because at the end of the day, when you become a tech person, you might not, chances are you work with a variety of operating systems, not just Windows, right? And because most of us are used to the Windows PC, right? I'm speaking from my own perspective now because before I became a tech person, I was a Windows guy. I had nothing to do with Mac or Linux, right? And so let me just chip in this. There are some job applications you want to apply for. I've seen countless, right? They'll tell you you need to have experience Mac operating system, right? So what that means is you need to be able to use Mac operating system, right, as well as Windows, because when they employ you, chances are they will give you a Mac PC, right? And so you need to have an idea about that. And we'll also touch on virtualization. I will show you guys how on your Windows PC, I will show you guys maybe like 1 or 2 type of virtualized environments where you can do your hands-on demo, right, and whatnot. So there you have it. I think Cyril has something for us. If I'm not mistaken, right about now. Cyril, are you here?
Yes, I
Okay, thank you.
yeah, hi everyone. So before we actually deep dive into most of the technical things, right? Before we deep dive into most of the technical things, I want us to just while we're going through it, right, and we're making our um we're taking our stand in the area to follow or where to start from, right? Or if you need extra mentorship, right, to know where to start to take career from, you can still reach out to us, right? But what we want to do now is we want to open up our discount program, right, to everybody on this call. When I mean everybody on this call, just exclusive to the people that attend today's webinar, right? And this link is going to expire in the next 2 hours, right? So, before we start that, we have one of our personnel, right, called Abigail, that has done a training with us, right? That actually started from CompTIA A plus to a cloud engineer level, right? So I want her to come on board to just give us uh, an overview of how the process was like for her and how she was able to scale through, starting from the technical support, which is CompTIA A plus, technical support, which is CompTIA A plus, and heading to cloud computing, starting from cloud fundamentals to cloud administrator, right? So Abigail, if you're on the call, please speak to us. You just have 1 minute. Let's do this. Let's do this very fast, right? So Abigail.
Hello, boss. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, guys. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depends on where you're listening from. So, I'm going to try to be brief as much as possible. My name is Abby Hill. Prior to my joining Tech Academy Solution, I studied fashion design and clothing technology. And I had zero knowledge when it comes to anything that has to do with the computer apart from watching movies. Like I always say, basically, my laptop was for me to just play music, watch movies. I didn't really know I could do more with it until sometime I heard about tech and I paid some academies on the Telegram platform. You see them, they're everywhere. And I joined, and the way they were taking me, it was making it look really complicated. It was a struggle. So at some point, I just gave up until somebody introduced me to Tech Academy Solution. And when I joined, onboarding was really interesting for me. They made it seem so simple, like there's no big deal, there's no much drama to this thing. This thing is really easy. It was very easy for me to just blend in, like the basics, the way they handle the teaching and everything. After the technical support class, I joined the fundamental, and in the process of the fundamental, we're taught a lot of things. Like Sawyer mentioned earlier, he talked about soft skills. We were taught soft skills, and currently I'm working with a tech company where everything I learned in Tech Academy Solution has really, really helped me a lot. It has really, really helped me, starting from my onboarding process with the company. And sorry, guys, I'm really rushing because I know I don't have a lot of time. Starting from my onboarding process with the company and till date, I would say there's something we call the KPI where your records are kept on how you handle customers' issues, how you relate with customers, and up to date. It's not like I'm trying to share you or anything. I don't have a DSAT. I've never had a DSAT. Among the people that onboarded the company, we were six freshers and 12 engineers that transitioned from other stages to join my team. Among the freshers, when we were asked to do the what's it called, the sorry, they call it a mock call, where you're to try to imitate your session with a customer. I got an A because my communication with the customer was flawless. Why? I've already been prepared for a real life experience with Tech Academy Solution. So it was really easy for me. And it was hard for them to believe that I had not worked in a tech company before because, I mean, everything was easy. Sourcing for documentation, I sourced for documentations easily. I see top engineers that has even stayed years in the company. They still struggle to probe ChatGPT or any of their AI machines on how to get documentation of things. But I just know how to source. I know the proper questions. Sourcing for documentation is like a top skill. Trust me, like it's a big deal. Then soft skill is a whole lot. But it's been really easy for me because somebody that had no idea, zero knowledge on computer, I just joined the system and I've been working. I get recommendations. As at last month, I was among the top engineers that were recommended for the customer heroes based on my communication with customers, based on ratings. there are engineers that have spent years. Somebody chatted me up. I was like, I've spent almost 3 years in this company. I have never been on the screen for this. But my experience with Tech Academy Solution has really, really helped me because it prepared me from how to handle issues, how to source for solutions on my own. It made me really, really independent. It made me really, really independent. They taught me all that I needed to know. My onboarding was smooth. I don't really struggle when it comes to this field. Tech can be complicated if you don't get the right people, you understand, to really mentor you. And while I was still in Tech Academy Solution, I wrote my AZ 900 certification exam. Currently, I have some of my colleagues that are just writing, and when they were preparing for the exam, they can prepare for AZ 900. I'm like, I've done it. When? Before I joined the company. I thought you said you are a fresh and tech. Yes, I'm a fresh and tech, but the academy that trained me, they ensured that I did this certification. I've done 900, I've done 104. They're looking at me like, this girl, are you sure you are a fresher? I said, yes, I'm a fresher, but I've been taught these things. So my LinkedIn updates, like everything, they just really prepare you for the real world experience when it comes to tech. That was, for me, that's what the experience has been like. They prepared me for the journey ahead. So me joining the real world experience was not really difficult as it ought to have been. I still have colleagues that are still struggling. It's not really difficult. I get a task, and there's something that is really amazing is the mentorship level in Tech Academy Solution. I must really, really at this point acknowledge our tutors, because sometimes I get cases that are really like very difficult, and these are not cases that, like, I'm not, for currently I'm not running any courses with them, but I still reach out. I'm like, boss, Alpha, I have this see this customer's issue and I don't know how to go about it. Don't just tell me what's up, look for this documentation, read this is how to go about it. I still get mentorship while I'm working. So I really, really appreciate, like I always call them, they are my bosses for life, they are my mentors for life. So I really appreciate how Tech Academy Solution has helped me, has built me, has molded me. It's made my transitioning really beautiful. And so far, it's inspired me. I'm able to define what my next level is when it comes to the tech space. So thank you so much, Tech Academy Solution. That'll be all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abigail. So that's Abigail. I think Abigail trained with us. Was it not last year? So she started at the beginning of the year from CompTIA A plus to from CompTIA A plus 3 months to cloud engineering, which
Yes.
is the fundamentals, 3 months. Then the administrator, 3 months, right? Then she did also did cybersecurity
Cybersecurity.
in our last class, right? So it has been a great journey with her. So that's why I want her to come and discuss, right? Tell us her experience so far, and we have been able to hear from her, right? Without wasting much time, right? We'll be jumping to, I think, let me just use the word, with her story, you should be able to understand that tech is not a rocket science. It's what the mind entails. If you have the mind that I want to do this and I want to complete this, you should be able to do that. That is tech. So it's not all about this is rocket science. How is this guy writing this code? What is this guy doing? How is this guy able to install this? Right? It's not a rocket science. As far the mind is composed and you have the zeal to excel, right, you should be able to learn anything in tech, right? So that was the mindset she has used during her time. Like why I brought her, she was one of our best students in the whole cohort during those times, and she was able to land a job by doing our assistance and the rest of them. So I'm going to share my screen for us to see what we are going to do now. So what we're doing, we have a countdown. We have a link and there will be a countdown on the link. So everybody 1 minute, please. There will be a countdown on the link, and the countdown is just for 2 hours. So let me share my screen so that you can see. But since I'm doing it from my own screen, my own countdown might be counted to 0. Yeah, can you see my screen? Please, if you can see my screen, indicate if you can see my screen, please. Okay, cool. Okay, let me try this on incognito. Okay, cool. So this is what we have now, right? This is how it's going to count from now on your screen. So what is the price about for those? This is just for only those that have been able to attend this particular webinar, right? So we're giving a discount. The cost price for CompTIA A Plus that we're doing is 150,000 naira, right? And we're giving a discount of 50,000. That means since you are opportune to be on this call, you have a discount of 50,000 naira already. If you go ahead and make and secure your seat for as low as 10,000 naira, that means before this time counts down to 0000 on your PC, right? Or we're going to time it. Let's just say in the next 1 hour, right? We're going to time it. Then after that, this link will no longer be accessible, right? So it's just going to stay for 2 hours. So you just have to secure your seat with as low as 10,000 naira, right? Then you have the free will to be able to pay in 2 installments. That means if you secure your seat with 10,000 naira, you should be able to pay installment 45, right? That's 2 installment payment for the whole training, right? So the payment details will be shared to us, while you can visit this link and see and being able to complete. Let me see. Okay. If you click on this link, okay, yes, this is the payment details. So once you click on this payment details review, it will review the payment details on this, which you can copy and you can make your payment to Assembly Tech IT Services, right? So this will give you a seat in our next our next class that is coming up on this will give you our next class that's coming up on the 13th of this month, right? On the 13th of this month, we are starting our CompTIA class, right? So this will give you a seat and it will give you a discount of 50,000 naira. So outside this, if you are joining the webinar, if you're joining the class and you miss out on the 2 hours window, definitely you have to pay the complete money of 150,000, right? So I'm going to drop the link on the chat. So the countdown has begun, right? The countdown is currently not going. So once it counts down to 0, then the link will be off the net. Yeah, so thank you very much, everyone. I've dropped the link on the chat. So on the link, just click on the payment details review and you get the payment details. Then you make a deposit of 10,000 naira to secure your seat, right? So thank you very much, guys. We'll pass this to Zoya for him to be able to complete the other technical part of this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Siri. So, guys, if you have any questions, you can just put them in the chat and someone will be there for us. And so we'll continue from where we stopped. Give me a second, let me bring up my screen. So I think we were somewhere here. And yeah, so please, if you have any questions about what I just explained on here, you can please feel free to ask questions. So this next slide is asking that, okay, why should you get certified, right? So at the end of this course, when you're done, what is the need for you to be certified? So it's just like going to the university, and you can't just leave the university after 4 years, right, without having a certificate to attest to the fact that, oh, I have gone through this course and passed all the exams and I've been certified to go and practice, right? So the reasons behind getting certified on CompTIA is that, of course, it will increase your chances of being employed in the IT space, right? And so when somebody sees your certificates, they are almost certain that you've been grounded, you've been taught, you understand, and you've gone through the exam and you have been certified. So therefore, they will be able to entrust you with IT responsibilities, right? So that's um, one aspect. The other one would be uh, what other way of confirming what you have learned in the course that we will take you guys, other than going to do the exam, just to be sure that, okay, what these people have taught me, I know it, and the body that is in charge of this course certifies it, right? So basically, it allows you to be able to validate your knowledge in all those skills I showed you in the previous slide, right? And so, CompTIA is an internationally recognized body, right? So what that means is, if you pass the um, if you get certified here in Nigeria, you can take it to any country, maybe India, Peru, Mexico, USA, Canada. It's still going to be recognized because it's just a single body that cuts across all sphere, right? And so major companies, when they see it in your amongst your portfolio, they tend to be to agree with the fact that you are well grounded, right? And so I know for here in Nigeria, our banks pay attention to CompTIA. So if you have CompTIA, I have a couple of my guys in the banking sector, and CompTIA was one of the edge they had during the interview process, right? So, and of course, like I said earlier, CompTIA Plus is the foundation, right? Because it cuts across a whole lot of other sections, right? And so when you're done with CompTIA Plus, you can now choose to specialize, right? So when we are done training you uh, the whole course, you can now decide, okay, oh, during the course, I loved visualization more than OS, or I love hardware fundamental than security fundamentals, right? So in that case, you can now choose to specialize in maybe CompTIA networking or CompTIA security or CompTIA cloud, as the case may be, right? So that's what this slide is about, right? So the next slide tells us, okay, when you're done with this course and you are well grounded, you've received all the knowledge you've been impacted, right? So what jobs can you get, right? So when you are done, I don't know if Siri mentioned, but I think we also offer help with LinkedIn optimization and CV as well. So we can help you with your CVs, right? So when you're done with all of these processes and you want to apply for jobs, what jobs are you eligible for, right? So I have listed a handful of them that you can easily apply for, right? And it will not be a problem because a couple of these job roles I stated here all share the same or similar responsibilities, right? And so when you go to the CompTIA course, you will have very good knowledge. You have a grounded knowledge about what to do in all of these roles, right? And so for one, I have done technical support specialist. I would say I started off as a help desk technician. Then I moved to technical support. I was probably lucky, among the lucky ones to have gotten those roles without having CompTIA, but of course, if you have CompTIA, you will have proven to your employer that, okay, you are grounded, right? So these job roles are available for us to be able to apply to when we are done with CompTIA trainings. And like I explained earlier, CompTIA A plus is the entry level. It's like the foundation of the house, right? So you can't just come and start building the house without having a foundation, right? So you have your CompTIA, and when you're done with CompTIA, you now choose to specialize. You now choose, oh, I want to be a network administrator or a security administrator or a cloud person, right? So you begin to specialize, right? So you can now go, okay, step 2, step 3, or step 4, whichever one you're comfortable with, right? You can now specialize, right? So with this being said, uh, you can build practical experiences. So this slide basically talks about in the event that you are done with this training and maybe jobs are not forthcoming, and you don't want to just sit at home or just um, maybe allow what you have been taught to just evaporate from your memory, right? You can set up a lab, right? That you can be trying your hands on, right? So a lab can be an old system, an old laptop that you don't use anymore, or a virtual environment, which I will show us shortly on this call, right? You can also volunteer IT support in local organizations. So what that second bullet point means is that maybe in your church you can join the media units, people that does all this technicality, mics and everything, projector and all. You can join them, volunteer. That way, you are not staying idle. You're also putting what you have learned into practice. So in that way, when you now get a job, you'll be surprised at how much you have learned, right? And so the third bullet point said you participate in online labs and simulation. So what that means is there are online platforms, countless online platforms, whereby you can do labs, you can do simulation, you can try your hands on just to be sure you know what you are doing, right? And yeah, so you can use platforms like Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, or CompTIA Labs. Now these platforms gives you an opportunity to try your hands, right? And so you build your experiences and everything. So that when you get a job, you know what you are doing. You are not just starting from scratch. You already have some form of hands-on experience, right? To be able to get the job up and running, right? So that's what this slide talks about. So hands-on demo, I'll be showing us visualization. Uh, in the course of that, we'll look at the Hyper-V and the Windows Sandbox, then possibly the command line interface, and then so this next slide talks about the exam details. So for as many of us that would want to take the exams, right? It's in it's in two sections, right? So they split the exam so that it doesn't become overwhelming, right? And so the format is multi-choice questions. You have single response, multiple response. They might give you some item on the left and tell you to drag and drop them on the right in the right order. They might give you performance-based question like scenario-based for you to be able to answer it, right? And so all of these things will take you through in the event that you would want to do the certifications, right? And we have the passing scores are, as you can see on the screen, 675 for the core one and 700 for the core two, right? And so that's it about the exam certification. And okay, so before we talk about questions, please permit me, let me go back to this guy and I'll give us some hands-on demo about Hyper-V, about Sandbox for virtualization. So I'll minimize my screen now. Just permit me, I'm using a single screen, so I'll be juggling between slides. So for the Hyper-V, you can click on your Windows icon on the keyboard and type in Hyper, right? And you see an Hyper-V manager, right? Click on it. So the Hyper-V manager is it's a manager that you can use to monitor and manage many virtual machines, right? And so for example, now I have an existing virtual machine on here, So this virtual machine, as you can see at the top here, it says virtual machines, right? This one is an Ubuntu virtual machine, and the version is 22.04. Just the way you have your Windows version, Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, 10.1, Windows 11. So this is an Ubuntu operating system. It's a Linux flavor, right? And so this is the version. So we have newer versions now. I think we have 24.4 or 25 point something like, I can't remember now, right? And so this LTS in front, it means long-term support, right? So what this means is some operating system version are no longer receiving support from manufacturers, right? So what that means is if you are having a problem, you might not be able to receive the support because maybe Microsoft or Linux have phased out the particular flavor of the operating system, right? So you need to work or have an OS that has a long-term support. So you always watch out for operating system that has this LTS when you're making use of Linux operating systems, right? So currently it's in an off state, so I'll turn it on by starting it on here. Then once it starts, I will connect to it, and I hope I still recall the password. I'll connect to it, and then we can see how the Ubuntu interface looks like, right? And so, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Mm, connecting. Okay. Oh my God, looks like my RAM is having issues. Wow. Okay, I probably fix it before the start of the course. Okay, but if it doesn't work, let me quickly show us uh the other aspect. We have sandbox, right? So I will just click on my Windows button, I will type in sandbox. So it's Windows sandbox, right? So open it up. Okay, I have one ready down here, right? So this is the sandbox. So the sandbox is like a development environment that you get uh, when you want to try out your hands on on things that you're not sure of, right? And so you are not certain if it will break anything in your environment. You can come on here and try it. So you can see it's just like your regular Windows 11 PC. You can come here, you see apps. You can go to a browser. You can browse inside of it, right? So whatever it is you do here doesn't impact your physical systems, right? So this environment is like a playground, right? So to say, where you can try your hands on, right? There's internet, so you can type, I can check for Google. Let's try Google. And so it takes the internet from your physical system, right? And it uses the internet from your physical system to work within this kind of environment. So you can browse in it, try your hands, break anything, and go ahead and delete it, which is fine, right? And so we also have, so this I'm showing you now, this sandbox is a local virtual machine environment, same as the Hyper-V environment, right? So, but we also have what we call the cloud virtualization. So what that means is we have some cloud giants like Microsoft, AWS, GCP, uh, Ocean, lots of them, right, that have virtualized environment. So in this case, I will show us the Azure environment, right? So on Azure, we have virtual machines. So I have two VMs, as we call them. So I have the Linux environment and I have the Windows 11. So I will just connect to Windows 11 by going to RDP, right? I'll put in the IP address for the Windows VM, and then I will connect to it, right? So if I put in my password, it tells me to confirm certificate. Now, when I do that, it allows me to sign in, right? So you can see this shows us like as if you are signing into a new laptop, right? But this is a virtual environment. It's not my physical laptop, right? It's a virtual machine. So on this virtual machine, I can try my hands on, I can break anything. If anything goes wrong with it, I can just delete it and spin another one up, right? So these are the beauty of the cloud environment. So you can see now I'm logged in. This now is different from my regular PC. You can see I'm logged in, so I can go to the browser, I can browse, can do everything on here, right? So this you see on my screen now is a cloud virtual environment, right? And so we will go through all of this during the course of our CompTIA A plus class, right? And you will see for yourself. It's not magic, it's not rocket science. We'll hold you guys by the hand and take you guys through, right? So I think I'll just stop here. I don't want to take much of the time. We'll talk extensively on this when you guys join us for the course proper. And I'm almost sure it's going to be a very, very high learning curve for you guys. And yes, so I'll pause here now and ask for questions from everybody on the call.
Yeah, hi. So if you have any question, please kindly let us know. There is the chat room is open, or you can just signify by raising up your hand if you have any question.
It's raising up his hands. Ayola is
Okay.
go ahead, Ayola.
So he's saying how long? Noah is asking how
Good
long.
evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I put my question on the chat, so no response yet.
What's the question? Sorry.
Okay, I said how can we delete file from a stolen laptop?
How can
Now
you
delete
erase
our
a file
file. Yes.
from a stolen laptop?
Yes.
So I replied to you and I said, we'll be able to discuss that properly, because that is one
Oh,
of our modules we have on what do you call it? On what you mean erase a file? Do you mean your laptop? Like someone stole your laptop, right?
yes. So I want to delete all my file from the laptop so that they won't
I want to
access to
delete
it.
all your files from that particular laptop that has been stolen.
Yes.
Yeah. So on that note, right? If someone stole your laptop, right, and you want to be able to delete it, you must first of all there's what we call RDP. RDP is a remote desktop protocol that you can enable on your PC, right, to be able to
Okay.
log into it from any location. You're getting me?
Yes,
If
sir.
I have a Windows PC, I can enable RDP on my Windows PC so that
Okay.
when I want to use that Windows PC, I can be able to RDP from any location, right? And be able to access my file, right? So if
Yes,
the
sir.
person that stole your laptop has not formatted the laptop, if it's a Windows laptop and he or she has not formatted the laptop, right? The best bet you can do is to try to RDP to it when it's connected to internet. And once it's connected to internet, you should be able to erase your files from it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I have another one, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, last week I was trying to format my system. So it's now hang that I should put my what is it called my internet. So and now it doesn't bring any network device for me to connect it into 11.
Yeah, so if you don't have any network to connect it to it, you have to on your hotspot on your phone, right?
It doesn't bring out also it doesn't bring any Wi-Fi for me to choose.
Okay, so for you to get more of this, right? So we don't waste much time, you can actually schedule a call with us, or however,
Okay.
you join the upcoming class that is coming up. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so now the class is for 3 months and it's weekends. The CompTIA A plus class is for 3 months and it's weekend. That weekend is Saturdays and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, then 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday, right? So that is the duration of the course. 3 months, the Saturdays and Sunday. Are there any questions from anyone? Mr. Ibrahim, can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, Ayola, are you the one asking?
Yes, sir. Is there any recap if I join the class? If I meet the class?
If there's what?
If I meet the class during the section, is there any recap?
Yes, so during the session, we have recordings. So once you register on our platform, we have recordings, right? We have recordings.
Okay.
Have recordings, right? You have
Okay.
recordings. So from those recordings, you can attend to, from those recordings, you can watch the ones you missed. Yeah, Kazim, thank you. So actually, if you're installing Windows 11, you can actually skip the network connectivity. It's not compulsory. You can skip it and set up your device. So any questions from anyone? So if there are no more questions, I want to thank you all for taking your time to join the webinar. I know we have spent extra 8 minutes, which is outside our schedules. I will apologize for that. Like what I've said, the link is already counting down. You can secure your seat with as low as 10,000 naira, right? So, and this is one class that gets filled up easily because of the multitude that comes to the class. And there are numbers of seats based on the licenses we have in our environment to be able to support people, right? So if you're interested with this, please reach out to us, or with the link, make a payment of 10,000 naira, then send us your information, and we'll get your account ready for you before on the 13th of December. So without wasting much time, right? Without wasting much time, I want to thank everyone for joining the webinar. I'm waiting to see your response. Then we'll follow up with you guys, right? And thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Hello, sir. Sir, I didn't see the link.
Yeah, I've shared the link with you now.
Okay, thank you.
All right.